Hey guys, first of all, I want to thank you all for the overwhelmingly positive reception to my Saints Row 2 patch video. If you haven't already done so, please give it a watch and consider sharing it. It honors the life of a great man in the Saints Row community and is a video I made from the heart. This video is going to be a follow-up to that, and so for the full context, give it a watch first. Now, it's been a hectic weekend. The aftermath of that video has mostly been positive, but unfortunately, it also came with a lot of drama. In the video, I mentioned that Thomas Jepp, aka Minimal, completely stalled all the progress for the Saints Row 2 patch for months. The executives were so furious with his unprofessionalism that they lost complete trust in Idle Ninja's vision for the patch and were considering canceling the project completely. He's the sole reason why a dying man never lived to see the completion of his passion project. In the video, I also mentioned that Thomas, along with Idle Ninja, were the co-founders of SaintsRowMods.com, a community website for Saints Row fans to post their creations and collaborate. Well, after Thomas completely betrayed Idle, he told him that he wanted nothing to do with Saints Row or the community again. Only, well, he decided to keep control over the site. Idle told me that Thomas planned to make arrangements to transfer the ownership, but I guess he never found the time to do so. Well, the next morning after my video went live, Thomas Jepp deleted his Saints Row tools off GitHub and deleted the Saints Row Mods website with it, effectively destroying 15 years of community resources. I made a tweet about this and called him a coward. Then about 5 hours later, it comes back online with an apology. To Minimal's credit, he owned up to everything he put Idle through. He claimed he got some stuff accomplished, but completely got stuck when it came to multiplayer. Well, the problem with this explanation is, we have a progress report of what was going on during that time. He wasn't supposed to be working on multiplayer yet. He was supposed to be implementing DLC. The builds we finally got to play had none of the fixes he claims. They were completely broken. Granted, he does claim he doesn't know if they used his work, but conveniently, that means we'll never know if he did any work at all. However, based on the accounts of another playtester, Idle was furious when he discovered that a bug Minimal claimed to fixed had in fact not been fixed, meaning he was lying about these progress reports. Regardless, the website was back. It seemed like an apology in good faith, so in fairness, I made a tweet linking to his apology. Then something very interesting happened. Someone logged into my old account and wrote a very long, bizarre rant. Now this post was never public because it was caught in a spam filter, but one of the web administrators, Admixon, notified Saints Godzilla about the post, who notified me. At first, I couldn't believe it was my account. I hadn't used that account in over 8 years. I was never active in that community, but after checking my old email, sure enough, it said someone had reset my password. I immediately reset the password on my end and decided to look at the post myself. Now the post itself is so bizarre. It includes a direct reference at one of the site administrators, Singa, and includes a lot of weird references about a controversial Saints Row community member and modder, God's Hand. Someone was clearly trying to use my account in an attempt to slander me. So what the hell was happening? Well, the only thing I knew was someone manually reset my password. I then posted a warning on Twitter that the site was compromised and couldn't be trusted. If a rogue web administrator abuses their power in this way, people have to know. No administrator should ever use their power to hijack and impersonate users of their community. Now, when I posted this warning, there was a lot of suspicious pushback from people on the admin team and their associates. They claimed that I must have been hacked. Now, here's the thing. I've been using a password manager for years. Every site I'm on has a unique password, and I haven't used this website in over 8 years and 3 computers ago. There's not a chance in hell this old account of mine was hacked. Period. While I never outright accused anyone, I had a hunch. Based on the weird fixation with God's Hand, the fetish references aimed at Singa, and their insistence in telling me that I was hacked, I made a haste decision to banish the Saints Row mod administrators, Singa, Admixon, and confidant Mega Freeman from my community Discord server. The context clues of the post, followed by them in unison telling me that I was hacked, set off alarm bells. I know I wasn't hacked. This looked like it was a clear attempt at gaslighting me as they covered for each other with the exact same excuse. Then, right after that, Admixon made a post and claimed that no one changed my password, and he also insisted that I got hacked on all my socials, which again, I know to be bullshit and what I saw as an outright lie. My account had already had its password changed twice. from when someone changed my password from their administration panel and from when I changed it myself to get my account back. With that, I thought I had the smoking gun. I DM'd Minimal to let him know what I thought was going on. As the site owner, he should know exactly what happened and who the culprit was. But his reply took me by surprise. He claimed no administrator changed my password, and then he too suggested that I was hacked. He made some comment like, "Let's face it, most of us reuse our passwords," then pointed to haveibeenpwned.com, a website that informs you if your email was found in a breached database. Which doesn't really mean shit when you use a different password for each website you use. I've been using KeePass for years. We don't all reuse our passwords, Minimal. This left me completely bewildered, but in good faith, I replied with this. "Hey Mini, thanks for reaching out. First, I don't believe for a second this was the result of a random database breach of my old account. I know how all that works. The message that was written was such a shitpost filled with the most inane community insider lore that I can only suspect Ed Mixon, Singa, or you. Only they care enough about God's hand to meme on him in that way, and they're the only ones who ever really talk about him that frequently on Discord. Barely anyone else in the community even knows who he is, let alone some really lucky database scraper. And even then, it's not an MO for a random database hacker to seize the opportunity on Saints Row mods of all places, less than 40 minutes after the website comes back online. For the sake of Saints Row mods' legacy and future, I am willing to drop this, whatever happened." And I don't feel like reading the rest. With that, I said my piece. But there was just one other thing. When he replied back to me, I noticed something odd. Something about his writing style. This guy uses a lot of hyphens and dashes in his written text. One of the things that stood out to me in the post that was impersonating me was its overuse of hyphens and dashes. Now listen, Thomas, I'm not calling you an absolute fucking liar, even though you did destroy the dreams of a dying man by lying to him about your work ethic. But I am saying, this is really fishy. I contacted Edmixon, Singa, and Freeman to get their side of the story, and they're in the clear. They explained the situation, and I no longer believe they had any part in this. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Occam's razor. This was a vindictive attempt to get back at me for exposing him for what he did. I tried to give him the benefit of doubt after his apology, but he was behind it the whole fucking time. So this is the timeline. In response to my video, Thomas Jepp deleted his mod tools off GitHub and shut down saintsrowmods.com. I called him out on Twitter for being a coward and a round pudgy piece of shit. He brings the website back online and issues an apology. For the sake of fairness, I posted a link to his apology on Twitter. Then my password is changed by someone, and that someone logs in to write a message in an attempt to impersonate and slander me. A message that looks like it was written by the same motherfucker who wrote the apology. Thomas, I stand by my original message to you. Whatever happened with this incident is concerning, but I doubt it will ever happen again. I think you became overwhelmed by the release of my video and did something incredibly fucking stupid. Something that completely undermines your apology and makes you look like a soulless piece of shit. But as I said, I hope we can all move on from this. You promised Idle that you were going to transfer the site and leave the community forever. So do it. Leave the community with some dignity. When you do, I will delete this video and we can all move on with our lives.